Welcome back to my channel. Now this is part 2 of listening to spirit. Some of the things that I didn't mention in the first time was the dark side of what's going on, how I ended up in here. When I was younger, I was molested by my uncle many times, over and over. And it got so bad that at one point my butt was bleeding, and I tried to tell my parents. They didn't respond. They didn't help. They didn't say nothing. That's when I knew, okay, I'm on my own. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, I remember they were having I was in bed, and in the house downstairs, it's a 2-bedroom or 2-story house. Downstairs they were partying. I could hear lots of people partying, and at one point I could hear somebody staggering up the stairs, and it was my dad. He just looked at me, and then the last thing I saw was a big fist. The next morning I woke up and my pillow was all bloody. And I didn't tell no one about that. Ever since then, that's when I started developing not a hatred, but I knew that I couldn't be around him. I didn't want to be around him. And okay, so that was that. And then that's when I started becoming a hard worker. I started working, trying to please my so-called parents, and I tried to be a people pleaser. I worked so I wouldn't get in trouble. At one point, my older brother said, "Why are we working so hard? We work like robots and nobody cares." And it kind of dawned on me. It's like, yeah, well, what the heck? Why are we feel like a robot? We weren't getting anything back from anybody. Fast forward up to living over here on the side of the property, or on the side of the at our Anchor Point property. We had a big fight, and like I said, I tried to ask God to forgive my ex-wife for trying to. She just couldn't get happy. She blew up. She blew up, and we fought. And so that's when things started changing. I started getting visions in my dreams, and in my dreams I kept seeing somebody trying to give me something blue, something bright and shiny and blue. And I didn't know what it was. I thought I fought it. For all these years I kept dreaming that dream that I never told anybody about. But I kept fighting it, and it turned out that was spirit trying to give me back my power. Finally, I accepted that power. I finally accepted that, whatever that bright blue orb was, and it turned out to be my power. I started getting visions and dreams, and things started coming to me. I started having more senses. We started watching tarot reading for both me and Adele. Started watching tarot reading, and a lot of the stuff they kept saying was starting to resonate. is starting to make sense. It's like, wait a minute, I didn't say anything to her, to Adele, but I resonated with what they were saying on the tarot readings. That was for the collective. It wasn't a personal tarot reading at all. But things started to make sense. It's like, what the heck? They're saying things that actually happened, and so it kind of started showing me a path. I followed that path. It was Spirit's path. Spirit showed me, and still shows me, things that I could dream of, I could envision, I could see, and then I could feel. When at one point I tried to get a tarot reading, but I never was able to. And me and Adele were fighting, and I was in the motorhome, which wasn't even in the house. And she saw on my iPad that I tried to get a tarot reading. I paid for it, but never got it, and she blew up. She cussed me out and told me to get the F out, and she's calling the cops and everything. So I just grabbed my stuff and left. And that's how I ended up here. She stole my money. I didn't have money. She's been doing black magic on me. She is in like an occult. Her and my so-called mom in the village are all part of this black magic cult. They keep trying to attack me, but I know that God and spirits are with me. They can't reach me, they can't touch me, they could do whatever they want, but it's not gonna affect me. God had a plan for me, and I am following His plan. I'm walking with Spirit. I'm listening to Spirit. Spirit wants me to become a spiritual healer. All this trauma I'm going through, God wants me to help others so they could overcome their problems. Everything is not coincidence. Nothing happens on a coincidence. Everything happens on a purpose. They've been trying to do black magic on me and trying to stop my funds from coming in. They keep trying to keep me like they got their thumb down on me. They don't have a thumb on me. I will rise and I will speak. No longer will anybody ever step over me like they are trying to. And I'll outcome anything. They can't stop me. Like I said before, this is all part of God's plan. God has a purpose for me, and I will follow His plan. I will do anything it takes to follow Him. So that is part 2, and of how I ended up here you'll have more yet to come, and I'll have more yet to report. Thank you for taking the time to listen. And remember, everybody, God listens, God hears, God sees, and God will bless if you follow Him.